Hello there, welcome to this channel. My name is Jackson Oyungu. Today I want us to talk about a subject that I've been thinking about for quite some time now. And we are going to discontinue the topic on sexual education. We'll come back to it later, but for this probably 2 or 3 episode, I want us to think about who is a father. This person that you call a father, who is a father? Is there a difference between a man and a father? And what are some of the biblical backings? I'm going to tackle this topic from a biblical perspective because that is my foundation. That is my upbringing. So I want to look at some of the biblical scriptures that are talking about the responsibility of a father. And to my followers who probably may not be Christians, I still invite you to watch because the points that I'm going to talk about still remain the same as long as you are a father. Last Sunday we celebrated International Father's Day, and I kept on wondering, who is a father? Who is this person called a father? Does the Bible has some backing, some scriptures that talks about a father? And today I want us to talk about the biblical mandate of a father. What does the Bible talk about being a father? What does the scripture tells us about being a father? But before we get into details of our tonight's discussion, in case you're watching this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, follow my page, and that is Facebook page and my YouTube channel, so that next time I produce a video like this, YouTube and Facebook will be able to notify you. And to my subscribers, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. We are growing our page, and thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get to today's discussion. So I've got several points that I want to talk about. Probably I will not talk about all of them in this video, so I will do part of it in this video, and then I will do another video to continue the discussion on about 11 points that are found that qualifies someone to be called a father. And like I did say, our topic today is the biblical mandate of a father. So what the mandate number one for someone to be called a father, for you to qualify to be called a father, you must be your child's teacher. A father must be a teacher number one to your child. And that comes from the book of Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. So you can take time and go and read it. But it talks about train your children in the way that you want them, in the way that they should grow, in the way that you want them to grow, so that even if you are not there, they will not be off the rail. They will not go off the way, because the teachings that you had given unto them, they will grow with them. They will make them not to be dissuaded or to be persuaded by what they see and by what they hear. So it's very, very important that as a father, you need to be the teacher number one. Your children should not be taught by the government. They should not be taught by the society. They should not be taught by their teachers. But the first and the primary teacher of a child should be a father. Number two, fathers need to exemplify a good life. As a father, you need to lead a life that is Christ-like, a life that is giving your children good foundation, a life where, remember, you are a model to your children. And if you go to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 2 to 3, it talks about our lives being like a letter. The life that we lead, who we are, how we conduct ourselves is like a letter, and our children are reading that letter. They are reading that lifestyle that you are leading. If you are drinking alcohol in front of your children, that's the letter that they are reading. If you are beating their mother in front of them, that's the letter they are reading. If you are smoking, if you're doing all sorts of things which are not good, remember that's the letter that they are reading. And that's exactly who they will become when they grow, because that is the environment that they are being brought into, and that is what they see. And what they see from you as a father is what they think and what they know is the right thing to do. I can give an example with my son. When we are out in the chicken run, or even when I'm in the house, if I do something, sometimes even if I cough, my son wants to copy the way I cough. If sometimes the way I walk, he wants to copy the way I walk. Sometimes I try to play with him and I make a dance, he wants to dance exactly the way I dance. So therefore, the lifestyle that we lead, or the lifestyle that we are living, they are copying exactly what they are seeing from us. Number 3, your mandate as a father: provide for your family. And I'm not just talking about financial provision. I'm talking about holistic provision. And that is your responsibility as a father, not the mother, but as a father, you need to provide. You need to provide, emotional support. You need to provide social support. You need to provide economical support. You need to provide moral and even psychological support. So you are a big support system that you have to assume that role for you to qualify as a father. And that we get from 1 Timothy verse 5 to 8. So you need to provide. And that scripture, maybe if I just read it to you: anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than a non-believer. So you can imagine, if you do not provide as a father, the scripture regards you as a non-believer. And therefore, it's very, very important for you to be called a father out there, that you have to provide. And remember, I said it's not just necessarily financial support, but a holistic approach of support that we are talking about here. Number 4, a good father must discipline their children. There is no way you can be called a father and you do not want to discipline your children when they do wrong. Of course, I'm not saying you go there and break their arm. You go there and start punching them. No. The kind of discipline we're talking about is discipline with love. You are correcting them, because if you do not discipline them as they grow, that's what they will think that is the normal lifestyle, and that will have a very, very bad impact in their life. So you must be willing and able to discipline your child. If they do wrong, you need to tell them that they've done wrong, and you need to tell them why it's wrong, and therefore you also have to give them a form of discipline or punishment. It should not be physical harm. You can find other non-violent means of disciplining your child, so that they are aware that whatever they did was wrong. And that we get from the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 24. It's a common scripture: spare the rod, spoil the child. And number 5, a dad must spend time with their children. Are you an absent father? Are you a father that comes late at home? He comes home when the children have slept. Are you a father that will go away and come after 6 months? You must spend time with your children. And it's not just spending time, it has to be quality time. Find time to play with your children. Find time to give them stories. Find time, to assure them and reassure them that you are their father and there is no any other father that they have. And that we get from the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 to 9. And it talks about, sitting together, teaching your children words of the scriptures as you walk, as you sit, as you lie down. Let me just read that. Let me just read that for you. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 to 9. It reads, "These commandments that I give you today are," let me read again. "These commandments that I give you today are to be upon your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the doorframes of your houses and on your gates." So you cannot talk about scriptures, you cannot tell them about God if you do not spend time with them. So you must spend time with them, and that is the only way you can be qualified as a father. You cannot be a father who is not there. You cannot be called a father who cannot spend and have quality time with their children. Remember, being a father is different from being a man. A father has responsibilities that are backed from the Bible, and as a father, you need to assume your responsibility head on. And the scriptures got backing, and I hope this video will give you some insights on how you need to assume your responsibilities moving forward. I will make another video and we'll continue discussing some of the roles of a father. Stay tuned to the next video. Thank you so much.